Pharaoh named Luxor. And now we got the three members of the family, the tribe of Thebes, Thes. And that would be actually the most ancient name has been given to this royal, spectacular city 3,000 years ago. Because today it's Luxor by the Arabs, it's mean palaces, and the Arab were these are actually more like mansions or palaces, but in fact they're wrong, truly. That was more like a church. So they give it a name, Luxor or Al-Qusr.
Al-Aqsa.
That's right, sir. Al-Aqsa, the palaces or the mansions, but they were not palaces. They were just similar, like church, like a mosque in that time. Okay. And to mention, it was actually has been replaced there in that time, back in the day, because Luxor or Thebes, it was the royal capital of Egypt. When was that? 1,100 BC. I'm talking about 12th century BC, which means 3,500 years ago.
It's kind of new by Egyptian standards.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right. So let's go, gentlemen.
Good. Temple of Karnak.
Behold right there, actually, gentlemen, that would be the most spectacular, pretty famous royal mound. I prefer to call him royal mound ever. It has named as Al-Qurna Mound. Why royal mound? If I say it has more than 2,000 tombs. And these 2,000 tombs are divided into 4 valleys. Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, Valley of the Nobles, and or the Commoner. So that would be more like the Theban necropolis back in the day. Behind the mountain, we do what we call it, actually what we call it today, Hamunaptra, which means the city of the dead. Yes.
Of the damned.
Oh, that's
right,
on the other
dead,
side of the
dead.
mountain.
Yeah,
the
that's
dead.
right. Yeah,
The dead.
The city of the dead, and right here, the city of the livings. The city
Okay.
of the livings and the dead. So why is that? That's because, first of all, they worship the sun. And the sun, actually, as you see here, the sun is up here. Sun rising means light. This is where they have believed and celebrated and got married and worked. But when the sun goes down there, the sun said, oh, that's very sad. It's represent what? It's to represent death. So they believe where the God is living here, the sun rising. And when the sun goes down, this is mean the God is dying temporarily every day. So it does not live where the God is dying there. This is kind of what God is doing every day while the sun sets. It's a kind of a disrespect to live where the God is dying. So they say they refer to the city right there as the city of the dead, only to meant to produce, to carry out the rituals that it takes to mummify the body, to prepare the mummified body of a pharaoh. It took more than 76 days, and later to be buried inside tombs. So there it was only meant for 2 things: mummification or the embalming, and followed by the burials inside the tombs. No one lived there, even the pharaoh, the son of the god. A demigod and a king of Egypt. So even the demigod or the half-god is still not allowed to live there. It's a kind of disrespect to live where the god is dying. But you feel free to live here. This is why there are mass numbers actually of houses, palaces here. But where they have been going? The answer is the flood, erosion, wind, the element of time. All things actually, as a matter of fact, and unfortunately, just destroyed and demolished all of them. Especially if I say they were made from a mud break. But when it's a matter of a tomb, of eternity, it's me. Tomb for them, it's more than a burial chamber. Tomb actually means that this is the house of eternity. This is where you're gonna die and come back to life and live life there. And that's why it has been meant to make from a very hard stone like volcanic stones, such like granite and basalt. And that's why the tombs and temples, so the temples, they still do exist in a pretty good condition, by the way.
But what kind of material they are made?
Sandstone.
Oh,
granite,
sandstone mostly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Major buildings were made from sandstone, but once you go inside further, you shall see some statues made already from granite and basalt.
Yeah.
So this means it's like pretty hard stone to be cracked or just demolished. So are the tombs also, but when it's a matter of temple, the houses and the first house of the first life, they already have been demolished and gone due to the time and erosion, and especially the worst problem is annual flood. Likely we don't have flood nowadays because actually this disaster is gone ever we built the high dam in 1971. So ever Egypt built the high dam, which is today in Aswan, south of Luxor, like about 100 miles away. Now no more actual floods. It was pretty deadly, by the way. Imagine between July and August frequently more than 11 meters and for 42 days,
Wow.
it had been killed a lot of people, taken lives, destroyed the cultivated lands, and washed away priceless colors made from gemstones. Yet they have been made colors and extract them from priceless gemstones like lapis lazuli, lazuli, even gold, iron oxide, hematite, rubies, and so on, finest turquoise of Sinai. This is how we got colors. So the Egyptians said we could make colors from plants and flowers. So today we prepare something, we do prepare something everlasting like precious and gemstones. How we got colors from more than 4,000 years ago, yet it looks well preserved in actually very good condition, really good shape, whether in tombs or even here at the temple. At least see them clear and preserved on the ceiling, but the lower part of actually the structures already have been built on due to the flood because it was 12 meters. Imagine.
So that was just one flood.
Yeah.
So it didn't flood before 1970. It didn't flood
Exactly,
here.
sir. Ever built it on no more floods. But before that, yes, it was frequently annually
So
July.
most of the buildings here in Luxor would be built after 1970.
Exactly, yes, that's right. And even this place, today we call Karnak Square, it was before ever flood. The water used to reach the facets of the temple, and even the three pyramids there. So like today, ever during the high dam, the sailing boat that the tourists used to actually use them for to reach the pyramids to visit have been replaced. I mean, the sailing boat have been replaced with camels today, and the green oasis of the water of the Nile River have been replaced with boats. Of course, with sand. Okay, so the temple here, maybe the water is gone, but still it sees the outlines of the harbor, or actually the say the marina, used for royal family members because they used to have a lot of celebrations annually. And one of the most important celebrations ever known as OPE means what? The anniversary. Egyptians are spiritual and very social, social people. They do believe that even gods must be reunited together as a husband and wife. It has to be a family reunion between the god and his wife. So Amun-Ra needs to leave his house annually at the first week of April. Why is that? Because this is the perfect time right after the harvest to make sure to bring the finest wine ever made from grapes, and also the fresh flowers and vegetables need to be served to the god. So we have to hold or start the celebration every year at the first week of April. And this is the best time of the harvest. So Amun-Ra needs to actually move his golden figure from Karnak to be placed where he had to meet with his wife at her own temple. Today's Luxor temple. How they did celebrate? They gave you two options. If you're a non-royal, like nobility or priest, for example, the only way to get there is by way through the Sphinx Avenue. Something we call Ramhead Avenue, or actually the Sphinx Avenue. It's a celebration, but made only for the non-royal. Regarding or in terms of royal family members, the only way to get Luxor temple is sailing to the river. So guess what? River and sailing on the Nile. Back in the day, it was such a privilege. Thing must be given only for members of royal family. No one else is allowed to go for a sailing. So this is why they say, do you really have to members of royal family to go to walk until they get the sailing boat, so they can get actually the sailing boat to go for Luxor temple? They say no. We shall link the Nile with the Karnak temple by making a small harbor, and this is how we bring miniature cruise boats, followed by girls scattering bruises before the present members of royal family, the senior and junior members, and also the music players and the high priest burning the incense to dismiss the evil spirits as a ritual must be carried out, and also let's say the vizier of the king play the music and say the king is here. So there are only members of royal family where the only members allowed to be on board over this miniature cruise boat to actually drag them into the water from the first gate right there, and sailing all that way until the river where you get to see the green area, the cars, and followed by the. That's right. So the Nile River.
The Nile River.
Actually Luxor temple that way because you are actually 3 kilometers north of Luxor temple. Luxor is south of Karnak. So I mean, yes, they have to go that way. I mean, to the left,
the
through
temple
the Nile.
where the queen lived.
Oh no, you are talking about Queen Hatshepsut. You're not talking about
No,
Queen Hatshepsut.
you said sailing to the queen's temple. The queen's temple
To the
was called-
goddess temple, sir. To the goddess, not
Oh,
the
I
queen.
thought it was
the wife of the god. No, she's actually the mother goddess, more like Virgin Mary, the second member of the Holy Trinity, and the wife of sun god Amun. So of course, they do believe it's men always, take the first step to courtesy the ladies. So that's why a man needs to leave his house to meet up with his to celebrate the anniversary.
Okay.
Okay.
There.
Now please you may follow me. Start our adventure. Hello guys, this is Eleanor and Turkish and pretty master student here at Luxor.
Close enough to French that I can understand, like especially if it's written, I can kind of puzzle it out.
Accurate, sir. That's because they are all similar. We call them Latin languages.
So you speak those 5 languages fluently?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And like recently, guess what? I decided to go with Mandarin, which is really this one of my worst decision ever, because it's quite difficult. Really, the people are very
A
kind.
lot of Chinese folks, so
Oceans
it's,
of Chinese men. They're everywhere.
and there's probably not a lot of
Turkey.
people here that speak Mandarin.
Yes. That's why actually likely when I speak Chinese there, I can't communicate with them because really they don't speak English at all.
Right, yeah.
Poor
So
English.
it's tough for them to get a tour. or
Sure, that's why actually I decided to go with Mandarin. And the tunes of this language, my God, it's terrible.
whatever.
Tell me about it. Now we are gonna actually pass by the second checkpoint only for your bags government. It's a procedure, you know, due to the safety reasons.
This is the 3rd checkpoint.
Second one and last one of
Well,
ours.
we walked in.
You've been through a lot.
We
You've been
walked
through a
in,
lot.
so we had to go through the first one to get through the buses.
Oh, they have another one.
There's another one there.
Oh,
The other side there to the left. Right over the table. What a wonderful day. I love the weather like that.
yeah. Perfect.
We have the worst summer ever here, guys.
What?
Yeah, it's very down. I'm talking about 60 degrees.
60?
More than 100
Is there
Fahrenheit.
still tourists here then?
Yeah, so like, you know, slightly. They're just coming here on the